Good evening and welcome to my channel. Tonight we'll be continuing our reading of The Hearts of Argyle Godfrey by Nicholas Leonard. Chapter 3. You won't expect a romance that lasted 3 weeks to be so impactful, but mine and Andrea's was. We went for hikes in Linwoods, and she even visited me at work while I was pushing carts. And before you go surmising as to how it collapsed, no, it was not her finding out about my heartlessness. It was me being insecure and scared. Andrea was good. She liked me. In fact, I think she would have gladly taken my heart. But I was just too terrified. She had just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Being heartless was new to me, after all. Oh, but how similar to a monster did I feel when I made her cry the night I told her we couldn't be together. Now that was like a crime scene. It was the first time I had ever seen mascara run in person. The melting mascara and her blonde hair coming together to make the same color scheme of an eclipse. The way she pleaded, "I don't understand," would have broken my heart. But it just made the cavity in my chest feel larger, colder, and deeper. The breaks in my throat did what they had to do while I gulped upon feeling this aching chill throb within my chest. The woman who laughed about a woman getting eaten by an alligator was crying. And it was because of me. Because I was heartless. The closest I got to telling her was saying, "I would have liked giving you my heart." But she definitely took this metaphorically. She attempted to scold me, but she was just too sad. Well, it's a little too late to say that now, isn't it? I hated how deadpan I was, how I didn't cry. Towards the end, I averted my gaze, avoiding the eclipse of her face. It was only fitting that I passed by Pine Grove Cemetery after breaking Andrea's heart. The only thing different now was that the cobblestones and small boulders in the cemetery wall seemed to be mocking me, with the moss caked like alien fungi in the cracks, reminding me of the green stem on my heart, and similar to how the roses seemed interested in the real estate of my chest, the moss seemed interested as well. I was my supervisor Heidi's star pupil. Heidi, a middle-aged woman standing at 5'1", with her curly blonde hair usually in a bun, had the sweetest personality that betrayed her smoker's voice. "Argyle?" she asked me one day after I punched in and was putting on the orange neon vest. I think I still had a hickey on my neck, healing too slowly like a vampire's bite. "Where's that girl who showed up a couple of times? She hasn't been this week." I answered with a bit of shame. "We broke up." "Oh, Argyle, I'm so sorry, buddy. There's 2 Powerades in the fridge for you, okay?" "Thank you, Heidi." "Argyle," she shouted on my way towards the store's exit, "don't forget to take your break today." I smiled, nodded, and exited out to where the sun would turn me pink and wring out my sweat. And so I spent the final days of June pushing carts for 7 hours and 30 minutes in the heat and sun, listening to music while my pants sagged because I was lugging around a fat bottle of Powerade in my pocket. I would consult the concrete, head dropped, and wondering if Dr. Cibola had made me paranoid. I felt the sweat celebrating beneath my shirt and felt the sunlight bake my skin. But I couldn't feel my heart. I felt my lungs expand my chest and let the atrium collapse in intervals. I even felt my breath in exodus. The first recording of Zombies talks about slaves in Haiti working in a field, working mindlessly like workers without a brain, under some kind of spell to work. I sympathize with that, except I was in a parking lot instead of a field in the Caribbean, and instead of mindless, I was heartless. I'm not sure which one is worse. You could call it a change of heart, but I wouldn't when I texted Andrea. Her response was understandably dry, but also incredibly mature. I had broken her heart, and I wouldn't be getting any second chances. I almost texted her about my heart, but I didn't. How the hell could I tell anybody about that? So I put my phone back into my pocket and walked out of the Stop and Shop break room to go sweat some more. One of my most detrimental heartbreaks was the one I suffered shortly after turning 18 in February 2019. I was much skinnier back then, but I was bulking up because I wanted to enlist in the Army. I was raised very patriotically, and the CIA did an incredibly good job at investing in war movies that glamorized the tragedy of war. Oh, but what a purpose it gave me for such a short time in my life. Here I was, an unassuming, quiet kid, ready to become something great. I had it in my heart to give myself. To make a long story short, I failed my run on purpose and watched a recruit try to hang himself, and was so jaded while seeing him mount the chair that my reaction time was too delayed. The drill sergeants came rushing in just in time, though. Something in me snapped and broke on night of arrival, something no mind or willpower could repair. It was the snapping that broke my patriotism like a twig, and the only way to get out of there seemed to be failing my run. They let me do it over and over again, but I came short every time. The nail in the coffin was how long it took me to be processed home, and it was during that process when I saw the recruit try to hang himself. The whole experience was a kind of atomic bomb falling on the civilization within my heart, and took some time for the world to repair itself. But my patriotism never really fixed itself. I just didn't care anymore. In retrospect, my heart should have been removed there and then. That 4th of July, almost a month after I'd had my heart removed, I spent the night holding and looking at my heart, which now was a glass sculpture. I heard the fireworks tap dancing outside while watching the faint yellow coil and uncoil itself, and coil itself again inside the pink glass sculpture. The green stem or vine, whatever it was similar to a serpent tasked with guarding it, hardened over the glass sculpture, hardened over my heart. That 4th of July, I watched the little sunset light inside my heart instead of the fireworks. Had my heart really been through so much in such a short time? I was still young. I didn't know. Suddenly, all my defeats, failures, anything in life that injured my heart began to seem like my fault as I examined the glass sculpture. I felt my chest so solid, there was no way of putting it back. I would have to ultimately give it away. Obviously, I couldn't be trusted with it, and the fireworks outside agreed. How neat myself inside my fingers fit, encased in glass, encased in carbonite. To be alive without it in my chest, it felt as though I was committing sin. I held myself and all my memories, ignoring all the fireworks outside, and then this hope appeared, a destined guest. Who was the empty mansion built to host? The ballroom that was curtained by my lungs. A girl who wouldn't be afraid to hold my heart and hold it right before her own, her hands creating such a cozy nest. She would become my sole proprietor, and all my emptiness will then be cured. But the glass heart didn't beat while I thought of this. Nothing vibrated in my room that night. Thus ends Chapter 3 of the Hearts of Argyle Godfrey by Nicholas Leonard.